guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Raiden's channel, I guess. And I was gonna do a toy video.
I'm going to start y'all right off in the mix. I wasn't going to film any of this, but I wanted to address something that I've heard a few people tell me. First of all, yes, my power steering's still leaking. Yes, I'm going to get it fixed. I'm going to do a new rack and a new power steering unit. But for the time being, I'm doing my lower control arms. I've had people tell me that you cannot get that bolt out without completely removing the steering rack. While you do have to unbolt it, you do not have to fully take it down. Take the bolts out, make sure the sleeve comes out so this side can move, and you can drop it down and move it over about, I don't know, an inch, and that bolt will slide right out. You don't have to undo the lines or anything. You got enough wiggle room. So for those people saying you can't get it out, you can. It's just a little bit of ingenuity. I got one more bolt over there to take off. These bushings right here are falling apart. I shouldn't be able to move my arm back and forth, and I could. And I'll show y'all in a previous video I did where I was showing this move, and you could see this move just as well. So I've had these for a while, just stock replacements, and I'm going to go ahead and get them on there and see how that does with firming up. And then when I do the power steering and the steering rack, everything in the front end should be new, because the inner and outers are brand new, and the bushings are brand new, which I'll probably just buy some more when I get a new steering rack. I'm pretty sure most of them come with them anyway. But like I said, I wasn't planning on filming, but I just want to address that right there. Alright guys, there's the old one. You look at that and you think, man, that don't look too terrible. Then you come over here and this is broken and shattered and whatever else, but look at that right there. All that missing. This is off-centered. This has a lot of play in it. A lot, and it had no support by the other side. And you can see, if you look really close, that's all dried. This is about 2 years old, so that's still kind of good. But it's messy as heck. The new one, as you can see, the bushings are perfect. So guys, I just noticed something. Now I flip this one up, and people go tubular for two reasons. These have a tendency to flex because it's stamped steel. Even though you can't flex it, there's a ton of force, literally, on the front of your car that can cause these to flex. Now I didn't think anything of it, and I flipped this one over to put it through, and this one is reinforced on the bottom. That is awesome. It is boxed in from pretty much the factory, I guess you would say. I think that is amazing. I've never seen one come boxed in. As you can see, the stock one's open, boxed in. I'm just amazed. So on both sides, the outside back cradle bolt has to be taken out because this hits it. And then the front is clear because I moved that. Remember, I didn't unhook any lines. I just unhooked the bolts and moved it out of the way. So we got this, so we got to take that out, and then this will slide right out, and then we can drop the arm. Bolts out. Take that out. That slides out. Now we can pull the arm out, take the sway bar end link off, switch everything out. Alright guys, I got the light on because I want to show y'all what victory looks like. After 20 years, 22 years of being on the car, this sleeve And this bolt decided it was going to be one piece, and even though the nut was off the side, this would not slide out at all. So what I did, you only have about that much room right there, but you're going to tear this away with a screwdriver or whatever. You're going to turn the bolt until you see that line. Now that's where that clamps like that. Now what I did is I took a screwdriver, stuck it in that groove, and I hammered it in to essentially open that up. I did it on both sides to kind of work it in. The other side, I actually ended up breaking a screwdriver tip in there, but that opens it up. Then I would take and hammer it a little this way, then I take and hammer it back this way, back and forth, so that opened up and spray in the lube, penetrating lubricant. Sorry, I don't want to get in trouble for saying that word, but regardless, opening them up with a screwdriver really helps. You just hammer it in until it stops. It's touching the bolt, but that doesn't matter. It's already locked in pretty much. But yeah, 23 years, and I think it decided it wanted to be one piece. It was hell. All this right here that was in there had, I guess, just rusted in there. This side right here, look how perfect that is. That side came out so easy. So much like that bushing was replaced and that one wasn't. But I found out where most of my play is coming from. Y'all may remember about a year ago, I did these, and you can see I lift that up and it stays. That means the inner's good, but watch the outer. It's like a year old. So I did go and I bought another DriveWorks one. It's got a warranty, so I don't really care. So we'll put that on there and get this on, and I'm excited to get my car back on the road. Next up will be the steering rack and the power steering unit, hopefully. Alright guys, I'm fixing to go in. I've run out of daylight. I had so much running around to do. My computer crashed. I had to go drop $600 on a new computer. And all this other junk, fighting that 90% of the day. Honestly, on this car, that was 90% of the problem. But I did get the new one on there, and what you do is you just count how many rotations it takes to take the old one off. Make sure they're the same length like these are, center to center. And I counted 32, so I put this one back on 32, snugged it up, good to go. It's pretty common knowledge, but I figured I'd go ahead and cover it just anyway, just in case there's a, you know, a new guy on the channel. But there's that, and I'm fixing to go in and I'll finish this up tomorrow. This is now day 3. Don't have much going on, so I'm gonna get out here. I haven't been just dedicated to this. Probably could have been knocked out in 2 days, even with the issues that I had, but in typical Florida fashion, it looks like it's fixing to rain. So we'll see what I can get done. But I did put the new one on, which I showed y'all, and I'm fixing to get that on. Now, the bolt that I couldn't get through is right here. It was stuck in the sleeve. For the life of me, I cannot find replacement bolts. Either the shank is too long and the bolt won't tighten down, or this is way too long. So I have to reuse the bolt, but I did get new nuts for the end, because like I said, I beat them pretty good getting it out. On this right here, it's textured. Now the new control arm has new bushings and new sleeves, but I do have a little thing that I do where I put grease on this, because I don't want that to happen again, and I figure that would be some form of protection versus none at all. One other tip I wanted to give with these arms. These bushings are a lot tighter. Of course, they're new. So when you put it in, if you have your sway bar end link on like I do, you're going to maneuver it so it's out of the way, but you want to set it up past this mark, kind of just set it where it sits in there, and then you're going to get a rubber mallet, and you're just going to keep tapping the ears back and forth. Don't just hit one side, you got to walk it back and forth. That'll walk it in, and it'll actually pretty much go to where it needs to go. But you can't start it at the bottom of this cup and push it up. You got to start it from the top and kind of just walk it down with a mallet. It also helps to grease it a little on the outside of the bushings there. You can see I got a little bit of grease right there, not a lot, but you know, that's what I had. And then, like I said, rubber mallet, because if you use something else, you know, it's probably gonna dent it up or scar it up and make it look ugly. Everything on this car is ugly, but that don't matter. When you put your spring in the pocket, the pigtail actually has a little spot that it goes into. Make sure it's seated up top. Lift it up with your jack, get this seated, get it tightened down. Make sure your cotter pin hole is lined up so you can put that through. Tighten that down. Put your end link on, your tie rod. Make sure all this is tightened. I just undid these bolts so I can move this. So make sure all this is back together, and you're, other than putting your brake caliper on, you're good to go. So, as far as the control arm, there's everything right there. All new, bolted in. Got my front end done. Went to put on the tire, and I happened to look, because I've been writing on this. Look at that. This tire gave me no other signs that anything was wrong, but it is, and it feels like it's at like 900 pounds right now. I've never felt it that high, but I'm gonna go and get to used tires for the moment, and then when my new tires come in and get the front end alignment, everything will be good. Alright, so I'm here at Sam's Tires, new and used. This is on Holly Hill off of Nova. They have a very big selection, and they get stuff all the time. They go through their tires. If you see one with a problem, you point it out, they throw it away. They don't keep it for the next person to buy. Again, that's Sam's Used Tires, new and used. It's in the Old Wit Used Car Center. I've been here several times now. Always got quality tires, rather. Always got quality tires from here, and I keep coming back. When I say I get good tires from that place, I ain't playing. Look at all that tread. $40. Well guys, the steering is so much tighter, but there's still some play, and like I said, I know my steering rack and my power steering need to be replaced. So after I do that, I'm gonna do a front end alignment, because as y'all can probably tell, I'm driving straight, but my steering wheel is not straight up and down. I don't know how I messed that up in the process, but oh well, it needs a front end alignment anyway, so I'll let them deal with that. But yeah, for like the 85th time, my AC stopped working, and I'm tired of dealing with it, so I'll probably rip all that out and delete my AC. It is Florida, but this is not my daily driver, so I'm just going to see what I can do. I think I scared that person. They see me holding up my phone. Regardless, yeah, everything feels a lot better. The steering's a lot tighter. So, all in all, I'll say this is a win. The only hiccup I had was the one side, the ball joint was just spinning when I tried to loosen the nut, and because I was replacing it anyway, I just took a Sawzall and cut it right off. Well guys, thank y'all again for watching. Like I said, the only little issues I had, lower ball joint, when I was trying to loosen it, would just spin. Took a Sawzall, cut it off. I'm pointing at shit y'all can't even see. I don't know why. Anyway, well, I took a Sawzall and I cut it off. I just cut it off because it was being replaced already. If you're not replacing yours, I really don't know how to help you on that situation. Also, the sleeve getting stuck on that bolt, like I said, I mean, if you just keep working it back and forth, eventually it's going to free up. It don't matter if it's a millimeter at a time. You just keep working on it, and it will. And like I said, most of the play in mine was probably that right there. You can see it is it's like a year old. It should not be that bad ever. realistically, it would have taken me maybe, I don't know, 4 hours. But, you know, this is not a priority. I have a daily. So, everybody decides to drive by when I'm filming, or run by, or walk by. Regardless. So it really wasn't a priority to get to it. I didn't need the car, so just work on it a little bit each day, save my back, and not be aggravated with it. But again, I appreciate y'all watching. I hope this helps somebody. This is Horseplay. We out. Oh, one more thing. Videos will slow down because of the corona, whatever you want to, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, stores are shutting down and stuff like that. You can't even go to Advanced Auto without like standing behind a piece of glass and standing 6 foot away from the counter and waiting in line to even get in the store. And so really, I'll order stuff offline when I can, and when it comes in, I'll do what I can. But content will slow down quite a bit. Speaking of which, these creators, you know, you got 4.6 Chris, the smaller channels, PM Performance. You have Bust the Knuckle Productions, these people, as well as the bigger ones, DBP, Street Speed, Mustang Lifestyle, Jonathan Harder. Watch their advertisements, guys. It don't take advertisements an average of 20 seconds. Get up and go pee. Get up and go get a drink. Something like that. Y'all want to see crazy content, dope content, and y'all don't want to put in 20 seconds, even 3 minutes. Y'all don't want to put in that time to help these people out. That's how they get their revenue. That's how they get paid. And you're going to bitch at them for not supercharging the car or something when you ain't on board to help them. So, guys, get on board. Watch the advertisement. Brutal. Watch his advertisements. 4.6 Chris. Watch them, man. Like I said, get up and use the bathroom, get a drink, something. Help these guys out during this time. I'm not monetized yet, so it don't matter to me. I don't even have commercials, but thank y'all.
I won't turn around, I done made it this far. Look back now, that wouldn't be too smart. Shooting for the stars even when it gets hard. Put my faith in the Lord with these 16 bars. I won't turn around, I done made it this far. Look back now, that wouldn't be too smart. Shooting for the stars even when it gets hard. Put my faith in the Lord with these 16 bars. I won't turn around, I won't turn around. No matter how far I go, I'll never